What up, it's Rico Love, and you're watching ThisIs50.com. Get the strap.
Hi guys, it's Angel, and I'm here with This Is 50, and I'm here with the musical genius, Rico Love.
How you doing?
Hey Rico, I finally get to meet you.
I know, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's bad. We follow each other on social media for a long time.
Yeah, and I finally get to meet you. I'm a huge fan of your music, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're here today to talk about your new album, Even Kings Die. I'm super excited. Can you give us a little insight about the project?
So basically, first of all, I didn't think I was ever gonna do another album because after Turn the Lights On, I had put 2 years of my time into it. I spent like, a little north of $2 million out of my own pocket on the project, and I kind of was like, I was upset with the fact that it wasn't received the way I expected it to be received. I anticipated it being a humongous success, and I think what Even Kings Die is a testament to the fact that no matter how good you are, no matter how hard you work, no matter how great of a person you are, how many people you help, sometimes tragedy just strikes. And in the greatest entity that I could think of, the most grandiose figure there is in history, current, present, and even future, is the king. So the natural fact is that eventually even the king dies. So when you understand that even the king has to die, you understand that who am I to say that bad things can't happen to me? Who am I to say that revenge won't be, seeked upon me for things and my transgressions that I may have done years and years ago, or mistakes I may have made? Things will happen, and even the king can die. So you have to understand that is one thing that we all share, and it's just like a way of connecting us in a not so obvious way. But it's like the understanding, the idea that every dog has his day, even the king can die.
So I must say the album is wonderful.
Thank
I
you.
love a lot of the songs. Like it's dope. I actually have like all of your albums downloaded, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So I've been following you for a while, and I'm into music myself. So it's like inspiring to see like the way you write, the way you come across. Like you make a lot of great music, and you've written for a lot of great artists. So when I heard this album, I'm like, wow, this is super dope. I like this album a lot. And then, like you said, referencing back to what you said, you decided that you kind of got into a space where you didn't want to do music, and then that record, that album transpired. And I was thinking, I was like, it's so crazy because some of our most famous artists make the best music when I feel like when they're kind of in a more of a dark space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because sometimes, for me, I love to verbalize things I feel. I love to talk. And sometimes when there's no one there to talk to, there's no one there who could understand, or no one willing to talk to you when you're going through whatever you're going through, I think the music is like naturally, the songs start coming out, and you start realizing that like this is my way of expressing what I'm going through. I think therapy is very important, and I think in the future I want to definitely start seeing a therapist and just being able to vent, because it's a release. And when I've noticed with my music, ever since I've done the album, and even just working the album, even just the promo aspect of it, I'm enjoying it because it's my opportunity to speak about things that were bottled up. So musically, it's innate. It's almost like you don't even understand it. You don't even intentionally do it. It's something that's just natural. It's like the emotions are there, and the booth is there, and the music is there, and the chords are there, and you just kind of start spilling your heart out. And that's the advantage we have as creatives, is that we have opportunity to tell what we're going through, not so literally, but in a way that gives us release. It's like a punching bag.
So music is therapy for you.
Absolutely.
Music is, and I think it's even amazing that you actually are admitting that you yourself, want to go and have therapy, because maybe
I think we all do. I don't even think that's like a thing we have to admit. I think in general, we all need to talk to somebody. And a therapist may not necessarily be an MD or anything like that, but it just may be a minister, maybe a best friend, and maybe a father, a mother. Like we all got to sit down and talk to somebody who won't judge us, and who can kind of like just listen and give us proper insight, or maybe just listen and not say anything at all. But I think it's healthy for all of us.
Because like that's like that quote I always say. People say, check on your strong friend.
Yeah.
And I kind of got that from what you're saying, because it's like sometimes when you have things going on and people be like, he all right, he don't really, he doesn't get depressed. How can he get depressed? You know, he has the jewelry, he has the music, he's writing for this person, he's doing that.
Yeah.
But it's so true, and like that post is like, it means so much. If someone's behind that, check on your strong friend, because you never know. Like,
absolutely.
We all have problems.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what your status is, we do all have problems. And sometimes people, like you said, they might be close to you, like, you might be talking to them, they in their phone, because they don't really believe that you feeling this way.
And one thing you know, I definitely understand that I've never been depressed, right? But I do know that if I didn't have music as my release, I think I definitely would be a depressed person. Because I'm very passionate about things, and I believe in fairness. I believe in fairness, and I think that some things laid out on paper just make so much sense. And if you've ever talked to somebody who you can lay out all of the facts for them, just like this is the fact. And no matter what, they dispute it. That's what life can do to you sometimes. It's like everything that makes sense. Like, this all makes sense. This should not be happening to me. I did what I was supposed to do. I did the right thing. I did this. I was good to people. I was honest. I was this. And it happens to you. And that can put you in a dark state. Again, the blessing that I have is my ability to get in the booth and express those things, whether it be literally or non-literally, metaphorically. However, I get the opportunity to release certain things. There were some things in my music that are just hidden gems just for me. And the truest meaning of it, nobody will ever know except me. And I think that's healthy for me, because now I released it. It's in the world. Everybody's singing it. Everybody's being a part of it. And I was able to release something that was so personal that, you know, people can understand and hear me and understand my pain and my plight without necessarily knowing exactly what I was talking about.
Okay. And also, I see that you do the music conferences.
Yeah.
So to me, that's like great, because you're kind of giving back, and you're kind of, that's actual therapeutic.
Yeah, you got to come this year.
I wanted to come.
Yeah.
I was, honestly, I tried to come last year, but I didn't make it.
It's July 12th and 13th, but it's going to be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. July 12th and 13th. If you want to register, go to www.welovemusicconference.com. And it's an opportunity for songwriters, producers, managers, A&Rs to come together, get information and about honing their skills and bettering their ability. And that's very important, because you want to be around like-minded individuals.
Exactly.
You want to be around people who are hungry just like you hungry, who understand the game or don't understand the game just like you, who have the same questions as you. There may be a question you're afraid to ask that somebody else will ask. There may be a network. There may be people. I've been watching your videos for years, right? So there might be people who, just like me, see her videos and be like, oh, I've been wanting to link with you. I didn't know how to speak to you. I didn't know you were approachable or not, you know. So, because for the time we've known each other, we've never really spoke, right? So there might be people the same way who may be intimidated. And they might feel like, they look at a woman like you, they're like, I want to work with her, but she might think I'm trying to push up on her, so I don't want to say nothing. So imagine you might be in that scenario, in that situation. You get out there and you meet people from all over the world who have the same interests, who have the same mission as you, trying to make it in the music business, but want to do it the right way. This is not about how to get on quick. This is about how to understand how to hone my gift, perfect my craft, link with people who want to hone their gifts and perfect their crafts as well, and we form Voltron when we come together.
So how long have you been doing the music conference? How many years?
This is the fourth year.
This is the fourth year.
I did the first 2 years was in Indianapolis, a part of the Indiana Black Expo. The third year was in Baltimore, and then I did in South Africa, and then this will be the fourth year.
Okay, so through these conferences, have you ever had an artist that actually took from what, you know, everything that they took in from the conference and actually like?
We got 3 people to get record deals.
Cool.
We got like 4 or 5 publishing deals. This is just that I know of. We got managers who met their clients there. We got production companies that was formed. We got writing duos and groups and trios that were formed throughout the conference. So, you know, it's like a family. And believe it or not, like, it's 1,500 people that we average. So far this year, my goal is to get 5,000 people there. But I remember every face. When I see people on the street and I see them, I'm like, oh, you was at the conference. I remember every face. But I do have that type of memory. So, but it's a blessing. I treat everybody at the conference like a little brother, a little sister. You know what I mean? Like they're my family, and I want to show them what I know. So
as a creator, do you ever work with artists and you putting your energy into them, and then do you get disappointed when you work with someone, you might get them a hit and then they don't do anything with it, or they waste your time, they're not serious, and then you're like, I could have gave that record to Beyonce.
I mean,
like, do you ever feel like that?
You definitely have been in those situations where you feel like you put in work on something and you thought the outcome would be different, but that's a part of the game. I wrote a song for Brandy called "No Such Thing as Too Late" that I thought was gonna be a humongous hit, and they didn't even get a chance to work it as a single.
Wow.
And it's like one of those things. Things happen like that, you know. So you can't get discouraged. I put out records that I thought were gonna be my biggest records ever, and they weren't. I did a record for Usher called "Dive" that I thought was gonna be bigger than "There Goes My Baby," and it just didn't work. Some things just don't work. I did the "Looking for Myself" album for Usher, you know.
Nice.
I did so many records that you do and they just don't perform the way you believe they should perform, but that's just a part of the game. Every time I'm in the studio, I get the opportunity to write. It's just me sparring. So whether the record works or not, I got better. I got better at what I do because, you know, it's all about just honing your craft, and it's impossible. This is an endless journey you're on when you're creative. You're never gonna stop getting better. You're never gonna stop thriving for that finish line that doesn't exist. I don't see the finish line. I feel like it's around the corner, and every time I hit the corner, I don't see it. So I gotta keep going down the straightway. Then I get close to the corner, at least I think I'm there. It's not there, and that's the best part about being in this game. Except Quincy Jones still working. Quincy Jones is still working to this day. He's still doing it. He's still managing artists. He's still developing films. He's still developing television shows. He's still scoring films. So for him to be in his 80s and he's still just as passionate, and 1 year of his career is better than my entire career. Wow. And for me to ever think that I'm gonna get tired of it and he's not would be ridiculous.
So did you grow up like in the church? Like what inspired your musical talent? Like at what point did you realize like, wow, I really have something here?
Yeah,
like,
I definitely grew up in church. My father's a minister. He had a church in Poughkeepsie for like 20 years.
Nice.
And now he's in Maryland. But yeah, I grew up in church, but I don't think that's what it was. I think, you know, my faith is very important to me, but I just was born knowing I was going to do music. Okay. There was never a time in my life where I thought I was going to be doing anything else.
Okay.
And I started off as a rapper first. I started as a rapper. I was rapping first, and I think most people don't know. Like I was signed first as a rapper to J Records, to us label through J Records, and then I started demoing. I started writing songs, and then I would have other people demo my records, and they wouldn't nail it. I used to not understand why my songs weren't being placed, and I realized that they weren't performing the records the way they should to sell them. So what I understood was, even though they were better singers than me, they didn't know how to give it the energy and the attitude that it needed to be a hit. So I just started singing to myself, and I kind of taught myself how to sing. I always could hold a note, but I taught myself how to sing. And then when I started singing, I just like, it sound good on records, and people was like, you just do a record. Like, I was singing every day anyway, so why not? Okay.
So now recently, you know, Joe Budden's in the R. Kelly situation. I've seen that. And then I also watched your interview with Ebro. And I felt, you know, where you were coming from. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I felt like Joe should have called me, you know? Joe got my number. He could have called me and said whatever he felt about what I posted. And to go that route, I thought that was I didn't really respect that. But I got a lot of respect for Joe, but I ain't really like that. So if there's an issue, he could have called me and said, and I could explain my point of view. But again, to reiterate, I posted something based upon what I saw on Twitter. The show was in progress when I posted what I posted. I hadn't even seen the show. I didn't even realize the show was on that day. All I saw was some people attacking some friends of mine for liking R. Kelly's music. And I said, there's nothing that can make me not like his music. So in retrospect, I realized that that wasn't an appropriate time to say that, because these are people who are hurting. These are people who are upset about something that he did. So it wasn't appropriate to say, and I think that we should just stay away from it. If you like R. Kelly music, then like it on your own time. But to speak out on it at this point is just basically trying to taunt people. And I feel like I didn't watch it. I'm not gonna watch it, because at the end of the day, I don't have to watch it to know what I know. And at the end of the day, I saw the tapes almost 20 years ago. So I don't think it's nothing more that can make me. I understand the issue. I understand that it's insensitive to glorify his genius. So that doesn't mean you don't recognize a talented person. But at this point, it doesn't push us forward. It's not progressive to praise his genius, because that's not what is under discussion at this point. Under discussion right now is people who are victims. And if he wants to express his side of the story, he has every right to do so. But until then, it's stacked against him. It's stacked very high against him, and we would be ridiculous. We would be ridiculous to try to defend that. It's his job to defend himself, but it's nothing I see right now that can make me not believe the majority of the things that I've been hearing and seeing over the years. So at the end of the day, I apologize again, because what I did was state something that I do feel at a time that was a bit insensitive. And I think that that's fair when you look at all of the details and evidence, and you realize, man, that wasn't a good time to say that. Like, imagine if I did something wrong to your family member, and then somebody came and said, yeah, but you know that nigga wrote Usher shit though. You'd be like, yeah, that's cool, but right now we're not talking about that. We're talking about this. So if you like him, like him. If you like his music, like it. I'm not telling people don't like his music. That's what we'll not get into. But it's not appropriate at this time to be praising his genius. I think that's a bit insensitive, and at this point, you're just taunting people.
Yeah. Well, I actually watched the documentary, and I'm just like, it put me in a place. Like, it made me sad. Like, it literally like stole my joy for like all the 6 episodes. I was just like, what?
Yeah, that's why I can't watch it.
I remember, being a little younger and dealing with an older guy, and I didn't even think about it. So it kind of brought back feelings like, wow, I was so young, and did he take advantage of me? And watching the documentary, like I said, clearly the man is talented. You cannot take away for the fact that he's talented. And I still like his music, but me personally, I wouldn't play his music now based on what I did see in the documentary. It just put me in a bad place, because I'm like, wow, like, this is sad. Like, I'm a female, and everybody has their opinion, but I do also, like what you said, I don't think it was so bad to say that you like his music. Like, I didn't think that was like a bad thing.
One thing about it is, it's not a bad thing like anything. It's just about the timing in which you say it. So whatever you want to do that has to do with listening to anything, just do it on your own time. Yeah. And then at that point, it's your business. Now, if you got people who mad, oh, well, you got to tell us if you listen to his music or not. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So at this point, stay away from. I'm gonna stay away from it. I'm not gonna speak bad about this. I'm not gonna judge any man. God is a judge of all men. But I will say this: wrong is wrong. Yeah. And if people are hurting, and I'm sticking a knife in deeper by talking about how great he is, it's just wrong. It's just not cool, and I accept that that's not cool. Again, in my defense, I was commenting based upon comments that I saw online. People were just literally attacking people for liking his music, and I spoke out on that. I spoke out of turn in the wrong time, and I should have investigated more why they were saying what they were saying before I made the comment, and that's fair. That is fair. If somebody wrongs me, if somebody does something they out of line, and they check themselves and they say, I'm sorry, Rico, I'm gonna say I accept your apology and let's move forward. That's it.
Well, that's really big of you to apologize. He apologized, guys. Okay, so we gotta listen to this album though, because the album is everything.
Even Kings
like, seriously,
died.
even Kings died. Even Kings died. So moving forward, is there anything else you want to tell the audience that you're doing? Like, any new projects coming up? Any artists that you're working with that you're excited about? Yeah,
I developed this thing called Rico Love Presents, where we're gonna be putting out 5 song EPs, 1 per quarter, and it's gonna be themed. So basically, I'm gonna be looking. Let's say we do the theme as a female R&B. So I'll be looking for 5 of the dopest female R&B artists, undiscovered, unsigned, around the country. I fly them to Miami, produce 1 song on them each, pay them $5,000, and they get the feature on this Rico Love Presents project. And then we do each quarter, so let's say it'd be female hip hop. We do 5 records, 5 different female artists. They say we do groups, male groups. It'd be 5 male groups, fly them down, give them 5 G's, put them in the studio and put this out on this project. And basically, essentially, it's my project with these people showcasing their talent. My dream was always to have like a Bad Boy type situation and do what Puff did. And I understand in this climate it's a bit difficult dealing with personalities and dealing with, I've tried to break so many artists, and I just think I never was successful in that. So I think I'm gonna reapproach how I'm doing it and just give a lot of people opportunity on one platform to consistently get their music out there. So I'm excited about that. The music conference, again, if you want to register, go to welovemusicconference.com.
I want to go.
Make sure you register. And July 12th and 13th, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Even Kings died. Get the album. We're going to be touring soon. It's going to be a lot going on. We're working on a lot.
Okay, so before we go, can you give your social media handles?
Oh, yeah.
Everything, so people would know where to download the album, everything they need to do.
Get the album on all platforms. And also follow me on Instagram at I am Rico Love, on Twitter at I am Rico Love, Facebook Rico Love Music, and Snapchat I am Rico Love 5. And
before we go, could we just get one good get the strap?
Get the strap. Turn the lights on.